This is NBC News Capsule, sponsored by Puppy Chow brand puppy food. Here is Jessica Savage.
Good evening. Moscow tonight warned Japan that if it decides to deploy more weapons aimed at the Soviet Union, Japan could face a more devastating retaliation than when atomic bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. American Marines stationed in Beirut as part of that multinational peacekeeping force say Israeli troops have been probing their lines, that apparently to search for guerrillas. More in a moment.
On the new $100,000 Name That Tune, you can find contestants that are calm.
And I'm not nervous at all, and I want bachelor number 2.
Soft-spoken.
Yes, sir, that's my baby!
That's right! You got $100, Sandy.
Courteous.
Should I give it to you, Nick, or should I make you squirm a minute?
And honest.
So I was wrong.
Watch Name That Tune, weeknights at 6, 5 in Illinois on TV 38, The Entertainer.
Home at last, snap on the TV. Me and my baby got the stars in our eyes. Gonna let the magic come and carry us away and get a big surprise. Love it Monday through to Sunday. Every morning, every evening, everybody very happy. 'Cause the stars shine all the time. There's always something good to see. On TV 38, you love it. TV 38, you love it. We love it, we love it, we love it. On TV 38, you love it. TV 38, you love it. TV 38, you love it.
Robert Redford is Jeremiah Johnson, the story of a mountain man who became a legend. Jeremiah Johnson, right after The Wonderful World of Disney, Sunday. Cliffhangers, 3 continuing serials in 1 action-packed hour. Last week, we left Susan Williams up to her neck in hot water. Sheriff Donner was caught in a mysterious underground city, and Dracula was found dead and living on the West Coast. Tuesday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain. They don't call them cliffhangers for nothing.
Southern Colorado, you're right at home with Fox 21. And the region's first and only primetime newscast, 1 hour earlier. This is Fox 21 News at 9.
Thanks for watching Fox 21 News at 9. I'm Joe Cole.
And I'm Stephanie Petlinski. Colorado Springs welcomes a special guest.
Fox 21 News at 9 with Joe Cole, Stephanie Petlinski, meteorologist Terry Gerbstadt, and Eric Danner with sports. This is Fox 21 News at 9.
More wet weather moves into southern Colorado.
Folks in Colorado.
And Bob will be along with his forecast, springtime forecast, when we come back.
Another non-winter day coming up. Temperatures heading for 60. We'll have all the weather details coming up.
Now, Jim Boyd, Susan Burke, and Bob Copeland, bringing a world of news to New England. This is News Center 5 Eye Opener.
Good morning, everyone. Topping our news now as the sand slips through the hourglass.
And now, coverage you can count on from Color 10 News, Springfield, Missouri.
It's that time of year when thunderstorms spring up seemingly from...
Tonight's news is sponsored by Fifth Third Bank, the hardest working bank in the business. Live from the station you count on for local news, this is WTOL News 11 at 6.
We had another picture.
You'll hear her call for action right after the break.
You're watching WTOL News 11 at 6 with Chris Peterson, Terry Phil, Robert Shields with the Digital Doppler Network, and Sports with Dan Cummins. Count on WTOL News 11. Toledo's news leader, winner of Ohio's Best Newscast Award.
Close.
DC.
Tonight, a local athlete charged with domestic violence. The story behind the arrest of a Toledo Mudhens player. Plus, an Ohio man thinks concealed guns should be allowed in city parks. We'll show you why he wasn't able to get a word in with Mayor Ford tonight. And history made. The first spaceship not sponsored by a government makes it into space, meet the world's first civilian astronaut.
From WTVG Toledo, this is 13 Action News Nightbeat.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Diane Larson. Lee Conklin is off tonight. A Mudhens.
It's first. It's live. It's Toledo's #1 morning newscast. 13 Action News, good morning.
Kelly Weiss and Jeff Smith bring you Toledo's overnight developments, and meteorologist Jay Burschbach has a look at the day's weather.
And live time-saver traffic reports every 10 minutes from the 13 Action News Traffic Center. 13 Action News Good Morning gives you a head start, beginning a half hour earlier than other local newscasts.
And be sure and stay tuned for Good Morning America. Good things are happening. Mornings beginning at 5 here on 13 ABC.
From the prison, where news comes first, NBC 24 News at 11 starts now.
My next move would be a cemetery.
Where news comes first, Jim Blue, Jennifer Stacy, Chief Meteorologist Bill Spencer, and Sports Director Jim Tishy. This is NBC 24 News at 11.
Toledo-based Owens, Illinois is growing.
You are watching today's UPN 38.
For the latest on this winter storm.
Try new extra.
Know when the snow will start falling. Know where the storm will strike the hardest.
Heavy right through the morning.
Kevin, Cindy, and AJ know winter weather. Only on Fox 25 News. The following is a rebroadcast of Fox 25 News at 10. This is Fox 25 News at 10.
A messy day turning into a messy night. All that snow, ice, and rain we got is now freezing over. Good evening, everybody. I'm Maria Stefanos.
And I'm David Wade. It is making for a dangerous night out there on the roadways, especially.
We know you have a choice. Thanks for watching WNDS, and tell a friend.
New Hampshire has a new governor, Democrat John Lynch, sworn in this afternoon. From behind prison walls, Pamela Smart is now asking for a pardon. And winter is doling out just about everything it has to offer in New England today. But will there be any sign of letting up? These stories plus all your day's news now.
Live from WNDS TV, this is News Now at 7.
The winter storm has been packing a 1-2 punch here in New England. Good evening. I'm Dale Scott Key.
And I'm Eric Shiner. The white stuff continues to fall in parts of New England as it has.
KHAS-TV News 5 delivers coverage you can count on.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Melissa Parson. The nation mourns the death of former President Ronald Reagan, who died today at his California home.
You have been viewing KHAS-TV, Channel 5, Hastings, Nebraska. KHAS-TV, Channel 5 now leaves the air until later this morning.
She had none. This is WFMY News 2 at 5 o'clock.
The yelling is over. The punishment.
You're watching WFMY News 2 at 5 o'clock with Sandra Hughes, Kent Bates, and AMS meteorologist Eric Chilton. Your station for dependable local coverage. WFMY News 2.
There's a delay in the penalty phase.
We'll see you again at 6 for WFMY News 2 at 6.
See you then.
CBS Tonight. From WXII 12, this is WXII 12 News at 11 o'clock.
Just ahead, how making a turkey answer coming up.
You're watching WXII 12 News with Cameron Kent, Wanda Stark, AMS Chief Meteorologist Lainey Pope, and Dave Gorin with sports.
Good evening, I'm Frank Faboni. Tonight on ABC 45 Late Edition, foul weather blows into the Piedmont, leaving some damage in its wake. Then smile while you could be the next subject of a real-life cop show. Plus, paying the price for urban sprawl, how one Piedmont city is handling its growth. But first, look at what's ahead on News Central.
Hello and good evening, everyone. I'm Jennifer Gladstone. Here's what's happening tonight. What do Americans really know?
The trip to Grandma's turned out to be a little wet for some. Will we dry out?
KHIZ TV 64, Barstow, Victorville, Apple Valley, Hesperia. This is KHIZ TV 64 News at 10.
It's been
live from the KTVZ television studio in Bend. This is your hometown news. Z21 News at 5.
Good
I'm Frank Faboni. Coming up on UPN 48 News at 10. Giving is down, revenues are off, but not for one nonprofit CEO.
I'm Jeff Barn. Also coming up, are we setting ourselves up for deja vu all over again? Tonight, we take a look at national insecurity and what happens when the Secret Service gets separated from the president.
Then, why police are warning the elderly to be on the lookout. Good evening, everyone. Here's what's happening. Guilford County's embattled health director is back in the news again. Dr. Ramesh Krishnaraj was...
Thinking about quitting smoking, drinking, or bad eating? The clock is ticking. Behind these walls, plenty of images that may provide you with powerful motivation. But first on Fox.
This morning he said if he could not have his kids, he was going to kill everybody.
So authorities say he hatched a plan with two buddies.
I'm innocent. Nellie Simpson.
Now all three are facing kidnapping charges tonight.
Live from the Piedmont News Channel, this is the Fox 8 10 o'clock news.
Freedom provides a mother and her daughter with a happy ending to a harrowing day. Good evening, everyone.
What's up? This is Kat.
What's up? It's K-Dog.
This is Cool E from Sassy G Magazine.
You're watching K5, the home team. Hawaii's WB.
Tonight on K5 News at 9.
Family and friends remember the young victim of a tragic accident.
An unexpected wake-up call leaves quite a mess in Manoa.
And don't be a turkey this Thanksgiving when it comes to safety. We have tips on how to make sure your meal goes off without a hitch.
We are K5 News at 9. News 1 hour earlier with Stephanie Lum and Walter McCollum.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. About 200 family and friends bid a final farewell tonight to a 3-year-old boy killed in a
Thanksgiving Day disaster. We have some important safety tips you should know before you put that bird in the oven.
This portion of K5 News at 9 is sponsored in part by Ben Franklin Crafts. They've got the extraordinary for Christmas home decorating. We are K5 News at 9. News 1 hour earlier.
A Waipahu woman is in critical condition tonight.
We are K5 News at 9. Weather with meteorologist Sherry Shima.
Welcome back. We have sun and surf in the Thanksgiving time, same place for K5 News at 9. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
K5.
Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with Scott Palmer, Dave Roberts, Cecily Tynan, and Lisa Thomas-Laurie.
It is horrible video.
Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, with Gary Papa, Dave Roberts, and Jim Gardner.
His name is... You are a strong Secretary of Defense, and our nation owes you a debt of gratitude.
And the call for Donald Rumsfeld to resign is louder tonight, but President Bush stands firm to keep the Secretary of Defense on board.
CN8, powered by Comcast. Now, live from the Comcast network, you're watching CN8 News at 10.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Arthur Fennell.
And I'm Connie Cola. Thanks for joining us tonight. And first at 10 for you, a true medical marvel.
Amazing.
Now live from Wilmington, news for the first state from Delaware's first station for news. This is WHYY Delaware Tonight with Nancy Karabjanian.
School children rally lawmakers to show support for full-day kindergarten in Delaware. The story ahead on WHYY Delaware Tonight for Tuesday, May 11th, 2004. Good evening. Parents and children rallied in Dover today.
Tuesday, April 4th, 1995, the day the Bruins' hometown is reduced to ruins.
The day two of the world's most famous gymnasts show up in the Delaware Valley.
And the day striking SEPTA drivers take rush hour down into low gear.
These stories are now on News Center 10.
Live from the News Center, serving Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, Janet Zapala, Arthur Fennell, Al Meltzer Sports, and John Boleris with our exclusive Earthwatch forecast, News Center 10.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Arthur Fennell.
And I'm Janet Zapala.
And here's our top story tonight, Old Man.
It's the only newscast that presents the news from your perspective. News events that'll affect your life. Ken Matz and Jane Robelo, weeknights at 6 and 11. Channel 10 News.
Tonight, a nun takes the mercy of God and the law into her own hands when she pulls the plug on a leukemia patient on Picket Fences at 10, followed by Channel 10 News.
You're watching
Philadelphia's NBC 10, serving Pennsylvania,
New Jersey,
and Delaware.
Now live.
This is News 10,
First at 4.
Good evening, I'm Dawn Stenslin.
And I'm Yuki Washington. Eyewitness News at 5 begins now.
Live from Independence Mall, KYW3 Eyewitness News.
And topping Eyewitness News at 5, the New Jersey man who's...
Now live, CBS 3 Eyewitness News at 6.
Name of murder. My father's name is Michael. My mother's name is Suzanne. I have a brother and a sister, David and Sarah. I live in Westchester, Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia.
A local man's final moments. Nick Berg's murder videotaped just after these pictures were taken. The killing by a group claiming ties to Al-Qaeda and citing revenge for these photos of abused Iraqi soldiers. Good evening, I'm Alicia Lane.
And I'm Larry Menti. This is just a horrifying day for the family and friends of the young man from Chester County and for us all.
First on Fox 29, after a week of seeing graphic pictures of Iraqi prisoners, new images that hit very close to home.
We have team coverage from Westchester to Washington. The news starts now.
This is Fox 29, 10 o'clock news.
Sharon Crowley is in Westchester, the home of an American executed on video in Iraq. Sharon.
This is KYW3 Television, Philadelphia. from KYW3. This is Eyewitness News This Morning.
A live look at Center City this morning where things are looking calm right now. Will some snow be moving into the Delaware Valley?
Kane and Mick Grant in tonight for Jane Robelo.
WCAU-TV Philadelphia. Now, Larry Kane, Jane Robelo, Herb Clark Weather, Al Meltzer Sports. This is Channel 10 News.
Good evening, I'm Larry Kane.
And I'm Meg Grant.
Our top story tonight from Montgomery County, a frightening discovery in a bowl.
NBC 10 News at 6 starts right now.
This is NBC 10 News at 6.
February 16th, 1994. The night Tonya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan come face-to-face in Lillehammer.
The night a SWAT team comes in to break up a dramatic hostage drama.
And the night Ori and Reed shows you where to buy all kinds of things for your home for next to nothing. The story's now on the Channel 10 News.
WCAU-TV Philadelphia. Now, Ken Matz, Jane Robelo, Herb Clark Weather, and Ron Burke Sports. This is Channel 10 News.
Good evening, I'm Jane Robelo.
And I'm Ken Matz.
Our top story tonight, Tonya.
Live from Old City, Philadelphia, this is the Fox Morning News.
Welcome back, everyone, and thanks for starting your Thursday morning with us. I'm Vernon Shaw.
And I'm Tanya Archer. First on Fox.
Now, live, CBS 3 Eyewitness News this morning at 5.
Today is Wednesday, March the 10th, 2004. Good morning, everyone.
Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program with Cecily Tynan, Phil Andrews, and Rob Jennings.
Saturday night, striking orchestra members play for the children and at the expense of the Temple Owls. And another military school will admit female cadets. Cecily?
Well, we had 3 beautiful days in a row, but that streak will end tomorrow just in time for the arrival of fall, and we'll have the autumn AccuWeather 5-day forecast coming up.
The latest on the explosive tests done on TWA Flight 800 when Action News continues.
This is KYW-TV, Philadelphia. Coming up.
A Winslow Township police officer killed in the line of duty as part of a double murder-suicide. It's Judgment Day for embattled Supreme Court Justice Rolf Larson on his drug violation conviction. And authorities look at a new crime gang that has its eye on Atlantic City.
Now, coverage you can count on. This is KYW News 3 at 6.
Good evening, I'm Stephanie Stahl. Bruce Hamilton is off. Our top...
University.
A simple joy here in the crossroads. You got to share. Valley. A simple notion set in motion. Oh yeah. Touching people everywhere. A simple truth. We've got the magic. Come shining through. News Channel 2 WTWO. Oh yeah. This is your news.
Before, when
This is NBC 33 News at 6.
The Grand Wayne Center is a step closer to expand.
Live from the heart of Central Indiana, you're watching WTHR, Channel 13, Indianapolis. With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 13 Eyewitness News, Nightbeat.
A rooftop battle to put out a business fire.
Now, with coverage you can count on for all of Central Indiana. Ann Leiter, John Stair, Bob Gregory's Skytrack Forecast, and sports with Dave Calabro. This is Channel 13 Eyewitness News, Nightbeat.
Thousands of residents of Southern California are packing up to...
One out at your Jeep dealer. You're watching Wish TV, your 24-hour news station. Now, News 8 gets you closer.
It's kind of like Christmas shopping starting in July. Enough already with the...
And I go on a run here every other day.
Back live at Market Square Arena tonight, the Indiana Pacers.
KEZI, official sponsor of the Nike Oregon Classic. This is KEZI News at 11.
The hills around Marcola are the scene of a massive search and rescue effort tonight. Good evening, I'm Deanna Connell.
Première longue fin de semaine de l'année, une petite vacance qui va coûter cher.
88 litres, 85 piastres. On est à 1 piastre du litre.
3 cas de tissus humains envoyés par la poste. Le ministre de la Santé ouvre une enquête.
Le Ce Soir, avec Odette Goff.
Bonsoir, mesdames, messieurs. Du nouveau dans cette terrible histoire de tissus humains envoyés par la poste, on apprend...
And local candidates ready for an election call this weekend.
Here are Daryl McIntyre and Carrie Dahl.
Good evening. We have more tonight on that shocking video of a fireball exploding at a St. Albert gas bar.
The
NTV News Late Night with Sabrina Wyatt.
Hello, everyone. We begin our news tonight on Confederation Hill.
Buonasera dal TG1, l'ultimo saluto della famiglia della Fiat di Torino, del mondo imprenditoriale e politico.
Good evening, it's Saturday, June the 5th. Here's what's making headlines tonight. Former U.S. President Ronald Reagan dies at the age of 93. Hundreds of people call for the legalization of marijuana. And Stephen Harper unveils his party's platform. We begin tonight with some sad news.
Hi, Rasina Salevonga, Unuk, CBC, Galako Takutsaune Actor. Nunavumi, Maligaleoktit, Sulikati Mayun. Unukut, Tamata, Unapasota, Luo, Tana, Nuna.
Ça a commencé par quelques photos dégradantes et depuis, il n'y a pas un jour.
39 Alive, KCST TV, San Diego.
Covering all of San Diego County and beyond, this is News Center 39 with Denise Yamada, Marty Levine, Al Keck Sports, and Brian Hackney Weather.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Denise Yamada. Marty Levine has the night off. In National City, reinstate former police chief Terry Hart. The veteran chief was fired.
So the factory has authorized You're watching Connecticut's NBC station, WVIT 30. 30 News, an hour's news in half the time. With Joanne Nesty. Sports director Mike Crispino. And meteorologist Brad Field with his exclusive forecast. Now live 30 News.
Good evening. They were cheered and waved at all day, and tonight Prince Andrew and his bride Sarah Ferguson, now the Duke and Duchess of York, were cheered and waved at as they arrived.
Now from WVIT Channel 30, this is Connecticut News.
Good evening, I'm Joanne Nesty.
And I'm Van Hackett. Ahead on Connecticut News, we'll see how well-prepared shoreline businesses are.
Not just good.
It's great.
From Austin's News Channel, this is the Channel 7 News at noon. With anchor Ken Snow and Larry Dingmore with weather.
Good afternoon. President Reagan has now spelled out his side of the story. Now he's waiting for a reaction from around the country and around the world. The president told the nation last night what's been going on with Iran.
Taster's Choice Colombian Select.
From WNBC TV New York, this is Live at 5 with Jack Cappity, Sue Simmons, and Al Roker with the weather.
Good afternoon. Members of the UN Security Council meet to try to end the Iran-Iraq war.
It's a high-level meeting. It happened this afternoon in the UN Secretary General's office, and after the meeting...
At 5 with Jack Cappity and Sue Simmons. Live at 5 is a presentation of WNBC TV in New York. I'm Don Pardo.
From WNBC TV, this is News 4 New York with Chuck Scarborough and Pat Harper.
Good evening. Police have arrested 2 men wanted for the murder of...
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Live from Channel 5 News in New York, this is the 10 o'clock news.
Good evening. This Tuesday was certainly super for George Bush. The vice president is marching through the South, getting a warm welcome at practically every voting booth. And it's been an equally nice day for a northern...
From Channel 3 Eyewitness News, the news most people watch. This is Eyewitness News at 5 with Gail King, Don Lark, Dave Nemeth Weather, and the people making news today.
Hello to you and welcome to Eyewitness News 5 o'clock. Tonight we're going to show you how to create a winning wardrobe with fewer clothes and accessories than you could ever imagine.
For the last time, it ends Saturday. Toyota year-end.
This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News, the news most people watch, with Pat Sheehan, Denise DeCenzo, Hilton Cataly Weather, and Dave Smith Sports.
Good evening, everyone. Rain-slicked highways around Connecticut, triggering a series of pile-ups and rollover.
Next to the phone...
News 4 Nightbeat with Mort Krim and Carmen Harlan, Bernie Smilovitz with sports, Brian Tegland in Weather Watch, and the News 4 night team.
Championship hopes are stirring in Detroit tonight. Both the Red Wings and the Pistons look for victory in their playoff battles. And battle they did. Good evening. It was do or die for the Detroit Red Wings tonight. Yes, for Carmen and all of us on the Night Beat, I'm Mort Krim. Have a good night.
Good night.
Ghost Story, late night tonight on Channel 7.
How can a young man be beaten to death with a baseball bat by another man and not have his civil rights violated? That is a question that a lot of people are asking tonight. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Any carpet? Any...
Sunday, 2 p.m. live on Channel 4.
This is News 4 San Antonio, the Weekend Report.
Good evening. Nobody said it would be easy. Officer Chris Blowers knew that when he decided to go into law. See you tomorrow. Good night.
News 4 San Antonio has been brought to you by Chevy Trucks, who invite you to see the complete line of 87 trucks.
This is KHOU-TV, Houston. And now, 11 News at 10.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Felicia Jeter. Thanks for joining us again. Steve is...
Channel 2, KPRC-TV, the news starts now. Live from Houston, this is Channel 2 News with Bill Baeza, Terry Anser, Doug Johnson, Ron Franklin, and the Channel 2 News team.
There's been a big shakeup at the White House. Admiral John Poindexter has resigned as the president's national security advisor, and one of his top aides...
And then tune into Houston and the world on Channel 2 News at 10. You'll have the weather advantage with Doug Johnson, Houston's weather authority.
Thursday on Hill Street meets Sister Chastity.
Channel 2, KPRC TV. The news starts now. Live from Houston, this is Channel 2 News at 6 with Ron Stone, Jan Carson, Doug Johnson, Ron Franklin, and the Channel 2 News team.
A 56-year-old grandmother is in jail tonight, busted by Harris County narcotics officers.
Baked by the Flowers family.
The television news leader for South Georgia and North Florida, this is Channel 6, WCTV.
Eyewitness News. From around the region, the most complete report of news, sports, and weather from the area's #1 news team. Now, live from Television Center, here is John Joyce.
Good evening. A day of surveillance by the Leon County Sheriff's Department paid off with a crack cocaine bust tonight. The raid at Bennett's Grocery Store on Georgia Street. Stay with us now for CBS Late Night, our first feature, Night Heat, followed by The Fighter. Have a good evening. Good night.
Comanche Sport Truck is priced below.
WMVB, Panama City.
Coming up on News Center 13, opening arguments began today in the first-degree murder trial for Eugene Widener, and the city of Panama City throws out a proposed revision of their animal control ordinance tonight. I'm Larshay Hardy. Details of these and other stories next. Live from Channel 13, covering all of Northwest Florida. News, weather, and sports. This is News Center 13 tonight. Panama City Commission took care of some controversial issues at its regular meeting tonight. A proposed ordinance that would cut in half the number of animals that city residents would be allowed to keep. And we're going to pause for a commercial break, but we'll be back in just a moment. The latest news, weather, and sports. Thanks for being with us. Stay tuned next for Nightline. And we'll see you back right here tomorrow night on News Center 13. Until then, good night.
TV, Panama City, Florida.
This is Central Florida's News Center 2.
Good evening, I'm John McIntyre. Welcome to News Center 2 Weekend. 1,200 singers.
This is the News on 12 with Marcia Leitendorf and Lee Webb.
Good evening. The mayor says it sounds great and...
From the Gulf Coast leading news station, WKRG-TV, this is the Wednesday 10 o'clock edition of News Center 5.
Good evening, I'm Andy Pearson. Vice President George Bush